Well, hello everyone, Georgia Rambleband here. Hope everybody's doing well on this January the 1st. Happy New Year. It's great to be out on a motorcycle on January the 1st, that's for sure. And it's a nice day here in North Georgia. Sunny skies, I don't know, 62, 63 degrees. I can't complain. Things could be worse. I could be in Buffalo, New York, and for those of you that are up in Buffalo or that area, I feel for you. But it's been a while since I've been on my motorcycle. It's been a busy end of the year for me. My mom built a new house and moved in. That took a lot of time to help her, and just for the holidays and the end of the year travel, it's been very, very busy. But for those of you that think us Georgia boys and southern rednecks down here are lightweights when it comes to surviving cold weather, let me show you this. All right, there you go. That's me, number 66 on the left, sporting my Jerry Kramer Green Bay Packer jersey at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The frozen tundra of the NFL. I made a pilgrimage there back in late November when I had some business up in Wisconsin, and the guy on the right there is the guy that works with me. His sister lives up in that area, and he came up and we went to the game. Had a great time. Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers. But it was a 4 o'clock game, national TV game, late in the afternoon. It was dark by the second quarter, and in the 20s. I froze to death. No, not to death. I mean, I made it, but it was cold. I was a frozen popsicle by the time that game was over. And I felt like, and I actually even mentioned this to the guy sitting next to me, who was a Green Bay season ticket holder fan. I don't know where he was from. I'm assuming he's from the area. I said, you guys ought to consider putting a dome on this stadium. He said, oh, that's blasphemy. Don't even say that. So anyway, that was fun. You know, kind of a little bucket list thing for me. I'm not really all that big a pro football fan anymore, but, you know, just going to Lambeau Field and seeing the Packers play was kind of fun. You know, I've never really been much for New Year's resolutions. I do tend to try to kind of review the past year, make a few little course corrections if I feel like I could, it would be good for me, and I've kind of done that this year as well. I have a few little course corrections I'm going to make. I'm going to share a couple of them here with you real quick. You know, with all the elections this past year, and especially here in Georgia with this contested Senate race we had down here, I just found myself spending too much time looking at my phone, these little news apps I've got where I kind of keep up with the news, and then you throw in Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and I found myself, especially every morning when I would get up, you know, wasting like an hour doing that. This guy heard on the radio, called it doom scrolling, where it was like, oh, you're reading about all the gloom and doom and just scrolling through story after story every day. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna cut that out. So I deleted all those apps off my phone, and in the last couple of weeks, it's been surprising how much quicker I get up and moving and getting things done without doing that. I'm not any, you know, news or Instagram or Facebook or anything else, and I still have my accounts on those things, but I just spend less time looking at it. As I get ready to turn east on Highway 53, Georgia Highway 53, I'm here in the large metropolitan area of Tate, Georgia, right in the middle of Georgia marble country. A lot of marble mines around here. I'm gonna head, like I say, east on Highway 53 here for a while, but you know, so I just, that's one little course correction I made, and I think it's probably for my benefit. You know, time is a precious thing, and I have to manage my time pretty carefully to make sure I keep things balanced between work and home and family and having a little time for my hobby. And you know, I haven't been on a bike since October. Been so busy at work and with the weather and everything else, and I sometimes I complain about not having enough time to ride, and then I think about how much time I waste doing things like that. So we'll see. The second thing was I was in my closet the other day, and I noticed how many Harley-Davidson long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, baseball caps, you name it, that I had in my wardrobe. And I thought, you know, I think you've probably got enough. I don't think you need any more. And I looked at kind of what I just bought this past year. And I travel on business a lot, go to a lot of different cities. And if I ever have a little time, I enjoy kind of going by the local Harley dealer and talking with folks, letting them know where I'm from. And, you know, just looking at the bikes and just talking with them. I enjoy that. It's fun. So, and sometimes I end up buying things. Poker chips, baseball caps, t-shirts, you name it. So I added up how much I spent this past year, and I'm not going to tell you because I'm a little bit embarrassed about it. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that this year. And I took the money that I spent last year and I made a little donation to the local food bank, and said, you know what? Let's put, if your money's burning a hole in your pocket, let's put it to some good use rather than that. So we'll see. Minor course corrections, not really New Year's resolutions, but that's kind of what I do every year. I hope everybody kind of takes stock of their life from time to time and figures out how they can you know, be a better person and maybe lead a better life. I do that all the time. But I survived the past year okay. I mean, every year now you think, well, maybe this is the last year of the COVID and you don't have to worry about COVID anymore, and I'm not so sure that's ever going to happen really. And you know, this past year I actually got COVID. I vaccinated, had all the boosters and, you know, multiple vaccinations, and I wore my mask when I was supposed to, and I still got COVID. And I have to tell you, it knocked me for a loop. This is back in August, and I was really sick for a few days, much more than I thought. You know, they had all told you after the lie that the vaccinations would completely prevent you from getting COVID. Once that didn't pan out, they said, well, if you do get COVID, it'll be very mild. Well, for me, I would say my case was somewhere between mild and severe, but it definitely wasn't mild. So I made it through that. Our business did okay. Financially, I was all right. So, you know, things went okay this year for me. I'm just happy to get another year in, you know, at my age. So this is something to be thankful for. Hope you guys did too. As far as plans for the upcoming year, motorcycle wise, I mean, I want to go on a couple of trips. I always look forward to, you know, some long weekends riding with my North Carolina riding buddies up in the western North Carolina mountains. That's always fun, and hopefully this spring or fall we'll be able to do that. You know, last year John Gilbert and Bill and Stoney, we went up to West Virginia, and that was a lot of fun. That was the longest trip I made on this motorcycle, and that convinced me that this Heritage is perfectly suited for my long distance touring. I don't need anything else. I may replace this little tail bag I have with a sissy bar and maybe a little bit bigger bag for longer trips this year, but that remains to be seen. So I hope to get a couple of trips in. I do have a new project that I have to go to once a month. It's just starting in Tucson, Arizona. It's in Oro Valley, just north of Tucson. Beautiful area. And I hope to be able to take some time out in Arizona over the next year and rent a motorcycle and ride around Arizona. I've done that before and I enjoy doing that. I also have another project that I visit once a month in Stuart, Florida, which is in Martin County on the east coast of Florida. I guess it's about an hour north of West Palm Beach, south of Daytona. Pretty good way south of Daytona, but beautiful area. And it's you know, I go once a month, and I usually fly to West Palm, rent a car, drive up to, you know, Stuart, and I'm, you know, takes me a day and a half maybe to do what I got to do down there. But I've been thinking about, man, it would be really nice if I, if I could hit the right time of the year weather-wise, and if I could just coordinate it, just take my own motorcycle, leave Atlanta, maybe take 2 days to get down there. It's a pretty long ride for one day for me. I know these folks that do the Iron Butt, it's nothing for them, but that's a pretty long ride for me. But I'd break it up into 2 days, maybe go down to Jacksonville and first day, and then head on down to Stewart, maybe stop in Vero Beach area and visit with my buddy Freedom Rider, who I met the Hootenanny a few years ago. He's from Connecticut. He and his wife retired down there to Florida, and he has a YouTube channel. Check it out, Freedom Rider. He's just bought himself a new Road King Special, so that's pretty cool for him. I'd like to stop and see him. I don't really think I want to try to coordinate the trip with a Daytona bike week. That's just a little bit too much for me, but I would like to ride my bike down there at least once. But I think about these plans, and with work, it would take me a week. I'd have to spend 2 days to ride down there, 2 days to ride back, a day down there. That's an entire week I'd have to commit to that one project, which normally only takes me like a day and a half. So I don't know if I'll do it or not, but I'd like to. Anybody that has a motorcycle, especially a kind of a touring type bike or a cruiser bike like this, you're always in your head, you're always thinking about long trips that you could make, and that's one that I would enjoy doing. I'd also like to ride up to Nashville, visit my stepson who lives in Nashville, and maybe take a little ride on the Natchez Trace Parkway. Another YouTube buddy I've made recently up in that area I think his YouTube channel is Anywhere Rider. He rides in Indian Springfield, and he said, yeah, there's we could take a little short rip on the Natchez Trace Parkway if you come up. So I might do that. We'll see. But those are my plans for this year. Let me know what you guys have planned. I'd be interested to hear. Hope everybody has a healthy and prosperous new year. I guess I should. I guess there are a couple of resolutions I do have for the new year. I'm gonna eat all my vegetables. I'm going to go to the gym more, and I'm gonna lose about 15 pounds. So there's my New Year's resolutions. I was kind of wondering about does lettuce and tomato on your Whopper at Burger King and a strawberry shake and onion rings, does that count for fruit and vegetables? I'll have to Google that.